That should work, I think. Now we should be there. Okay. I think this should work. I believe I can see the own volume spikes right now. Let me know if it actually does work. You're not audible. Thanks, Joe. I think we should be there now. I'll wait for confirmation before I do anything else. I see a thumbs up. Does that mean we can actually hear each other? Well, you can actually hear me? Probably. I'll just redo what I was just talking about. And so sorry for that. I actually seem to have some issues with my mic today. I'm not entirely sure why that was the case. But, oh great. Thank you very much. That's good to hear. Thank you, Katja. Thank you, Yelvin, as well. So yeah, what I was talking about is that this is just my second live stream I've ever done. Last week was quite interesting just to chat a little bit with you people, just to tell my story and to see what's up with you guys. Thank you, Joe. And I was just talking a little bit about what I wanted to do today, because I made a poll I think a few days ago or somewhere this week about asking you guys what kind of things, what kind of information you would like to hear from me. And one of those things was to do a sort of portfolio update to see what kind of return on investments I had for January. So we're going to take a little bit a look at that as well. We're also going to take a look at a little business update, if you will, to see how much money I'm making now with this business, but also my translation business, because right now I'm still a translator and also a reviewer, as it's called, which basically means that you review translations of other people. So I want to see, or I want to show you rather, what kind of money I'm currently making, and also what kind of, well, not exactly what kind of things I'm spending it on, but how much I'm making, how much I'm spending. Because the thing is, as a YouTuber, I think it's important to be very transparent, right? Because in some way you do pay me for being a YouTuber, right? You usually don't pay me directly, but by watching my content, by watching the ads, the ads, of course, you do actually provide me with a little bit of income. I'll show you a little bit more about that later on, because right now it's just not a lot. It's just a few $100 per month, but it's something at least. And it's very cool to see that actually grow a little bit over time as well. So I really wonder where that is going to stand in a year or something like that. And let's see, what else? Yeah, I'll just show you a few things in a second over here. And I also want to do some technical analysis, look at the charts, see what kind of things I need to pay attention to this coming week with regards to my own portfolio. And of course, if you have any questions with regards to stocks you're interested in, or any questions with regards to my portfolio, my business, my translation business, my YouTube business, anything goes. You can ask me any questions you want, of course. I don't mind being very honest with you. Okay, let me first very quickly talk about a few things I wanted to talk about here. So I think if you don't know this guy, Dave Lee on investing, definitely check him out. He's got great content. He is probably one of the smartest YouTubers I know, or the smartest YouTuber I know. He talks about things very out of the box. He doesn't really think in a traditional sense of way, if you will. So he tries to break down concepts and build them up in a different way. I really like that. In this video, he talks about movement investing, very hyped up right now, of course. The things like GameStop, Bitcoin being at such a high price, Tesla being at a relatively high price as well. So he talks about movement investing, basically meaning that people usually try to follow other people, right? So that happened with GameStop as well. He says, well, it could be happening with Bitcoin as well. It could be happening with Tesla as well, right? So it's a very interesting video. I definitely would recommend you to check this video out, but also just follow him. Go to Dave Lee on investing. This is also an interesting and important video, especially if you're into warrants. I just watched this video one time. I'll probably have to re-watch it a few times because this is mainly about warrants, but also about SPACs changing their terms a little bit. Especially if you have warrants, definitely check out this video because I think it's very important. Again, I don't really understand warrants 100%. I'll be completely honest with you about that because I can't personally even buy warrants myself on the platform that I'm using in the Netherlands, right? So I'm usually just holding shares, and yeah, I don't really know enough about warrants, but I should definitely know that, because they do have some kind of impact on SPACs themselves. So definitely check out this video, and yeah, if you want more people on YouTube to follow, then go to Patrick Desjardins. I don't even know how to pronounce his surname, but I suppose it's French, like Desjardins, something like that. Sounds pretty good to me. Cool. And I also found this article on Barron's. Well, I actually found it on, I think, on Yahoo Finance or something like that, or maybe Seeking Alpha. It's a little bit about SPACs as well. I think two main points that are to be made. One of them is that there was a research firm, this Edge Consulting Group, and they analyzed 115 completed SPAC mergers from 2016 until the end of 2020. And what they found out that 65% of the stocks had declined a month after the merger closing. I made a video about this as well, basically saying that, well, SPACs usually run up until the merger date, and usually right after the merger date or the ticker symbol change, it goes down, or like a few days after the ticker symbol has changed, then the price actually goes down, and usually by quite a bit as well. So take that in your mind as well. Keep that in mind as well if you are heavily invested in SPACs yourself. And let's see, they also said that 71% were down a year later. So that's important to take into account. Let's see, they had another interesting thing as well. They said that, well, SPACs do have positive returns in the 12, 6, or even 3 months before closing the merger, right? So keep that in your mind as well. Basically the same thing. Price goes up until the merger and then goes down after the merger. Warrants are kind of like options. Yeah, I kind of noticed that. So basically, you pay for warrants, usually a lower price, if you will, and if you buy a warrant, then you get the option, to pay for a share at a later date at, I believe, $11.50, right? That's basically the only thing. No, not entirely the only thing, but I think warrants are usually becoming exercisable like 30 days after the merger, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I think that the SPACs themselves, or the companies themselves, can also make you exercise your warrants if the price of the stock is trading at like like $18 per share for like 20 trading days out of 30 trading days, something like that. Not entirely sure. If you want more information, then again, check out this guy, Patrick Desjardins. Beautiful to say that in French. Let's see, I watched that video on warrants yesterday. It was very informative. Yeah, I think so, Joe. I think so, though. Definitely. Okay, let's see. Let's just go to my portfolio stuff, right? So I compiled a few Excel things over here. Let me first of all talk a little bit about percentages versus dollars. I don't mind sharing my entire portfolio with regards to the amount of dollars, or the amount of euros in my case, that are in these stocks or in these cryptocurrencies, but I don't think the dollar amounts and the euro amounts really matter, right? I think a lot of YouTubers actually do use the dollar and the euro amount to hype themselves up a little bit, to be honest with you, maybe to boast a little bit about their own profits, I would say. But again, I don't think it matters. I think what matters is the percentage gains and the percentage allocation of your stocks, etc. So I think I'm going to try to do something like that as well. Maybe for some reason you actually do get to see the dollar or the euro amounts, but it's not my it's not my intention. There you go, intention. So here you can see my stats from January on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, this is February, right? So a few things you can see that stocks have basically remained almost 50%. Cash has gone down a little bit. Well, actually didn't go down. The cash remained the same, but the amount of crypto increased because we had a pretty good month in January, as we're probably going to see a little bit later on. So right now, I kind of need to start thinking about when I want to shave off a little bit of my crypto, because if it does keep on going and if crypto becomes like, I don't know, like 50% of my portfolio, I really need to start thinking seriously about taking some of crypto out of crypto and putting it in stocks instead. So I'm not entirely sure what my personal allocation, my best allocation would be. I kind of like what I'm having right now in February. So about like 15% of cash, like 35% crypto and 45% stocks, or whatever. No, that becomes 50% stocks. That would be a pretty interesting allocation, I think. Let's see, what else can we talk about? I think we can talk a little bit about the stock allocations. So I sold a few of my long-term sells, if you will. Long-term sells basically means that I had the stock at some point in 2020 and I wanted to hold it. I thought I wanted to hold it for a long while, but it turned out that I actually didn't really want to hold it for a long while. I think I sold mainly 2 companies. One is the Alphen. It's a Dutch company. It's like charging stations. But the thing is, they are a good company, definitely a good company, but they're just not the #1 company in their sector, in the charging space sector, right? So I'm really trying to, for my long-term holds, I'm really trying to look for the companies that actually do have a very big competitive advantage, if you will, like the Teslas of the electric vehicles, right? Or the Apples of the high-end smartphones. So I'm trying to look for those kind of companies in my long-term hold portfolio. Not every long-term or not every stock in my long-term hold portfolio right now is maybe the Tesla of their sector, but yeah, I'm at least trying to get there at some point. So Alphen was one of my sells, and I also sold CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red is a Polish video game developer. They created a game called Cyberpunk 2077. You might have heard of it because there are a lot of memes about this game right now. It's quite interesting. I sold it because I just don't really trust the company anymore, if you will, because yeah, they made the game sound super awesome, but then it turned out to be quite bad in the end. One of my friends was super hyped for this game for like a year, I think, or maybe even longer, I'm not entirely sure. He was so hyped, and then the actual game came out, and yeah, he was a little bit sad about the quality of the game. So I sold that company, and I added a few swing trades as well. I mainly added TSIA. I made a video about this SPAC, I think on Friday. This is an interesting company. I still have to do a valuation video for this SPAC because I'm not entirely sure what a fair valuation would be. But I do think it's an interesting company. I am very worried about the user reviews, but I do like the company, their products, etc. And I also added a swing trade in Xpeng. I believe I started that trade at like $45. It's slightly up right now. Probably should have taken a few profits a while ago, but yeah, that's no problem. I don't really mind letting this company run. Xpeng is still I think still has a lot of growth potential, right? But these are all swing trades, so I usually plan to keep them for a few, weeks or probably months usually, right? So a couple of months usually these swing trades last. And yeah, with regards to my long-term holds, I'm just not going to talk about all my long-term holds because that's just going to take way too much time. So yeah, the main differences we see here is a little bit more swing trades and a few fewer, I suppose so, long-term sells. Let's see what kind of. Please review Unilever. Share. Yeah, we can talk about that later on. I think that's UNA or something. What is the end goal with crypto? Do you think it eventually will become a new currency? It's an interesting question. I think it's an interesting question, and I want to make a video about that as well. I think it really depends on the cryptocurrency. If you're talking about Bitcoin, could it become a new currency? Definitely. I do think there's a certain percentage, probably a low percentage probability, but I do think there is a percentage probability that it could become a new currency. But I think the main reason for me to hold crypto right now is because I think it could become a digital gold, and basically it could flip the gold's market cap, if you will. And that is like 8-9 trillion right now, I believe. And Bitcoin is only at like 650 billion, something like that. I'm not entirely sure what it is right now, or maybe even a little bit more, because we had a pretty nice run up, of course. So what is the end goal? I don't really have an end goal, I suppose. I don't really have an end goal. I think with Bitcoin, maybe a possible end goal could be that it actually flips gold in its market cap. And then with regards to the other cryptos that I have, and let's actually go to the tab of crypto. I right now have these 5 cryptos on the right hand side. So I mainly have Bitcoin, and then I have some Ethereum, some Aave, some Chainlink, and some Polkadot. Do I have a real end goal? It's actually a good question. I don't really have a very good defined end goal, because I think these projects are so early within their process that they probably don't even really know yet what they are going to have as their end goal, right? I think especially, yeah, these cryptocurrencies, these altcoins, these alternative coins, so these 4 that I put up here, can have very interesting projects in the end. Do I have an end goal with regards to numbers? No, not really. As far as I think that these altcoins can actually continue to provide value over time, I'm just going to keep holding them. What about SPAC ticker SVFA? We can maybe talk about that later on. I haven't looked into that. So yeah, with regards to my crypto, you can see that my Bitcoin percentage has gone down a little bit, but that's mainly because the altcoins have gone up quite a bit in January. I also added one, Polkadot, which is very interesting. I might do a video about that. Polkadot is created by a guy that was also a co-founder of Ethereum, Gavin Wood. Very smart guy. If you watch some of his interviews that he's done, it's very interesting to watch. I actually might show you like kind of, well, I'll show you this one, Gavin Wood. That's Unchained, I believe. So if you want to know a little bit about Polkadot, I would suggest or suppose that you should go to this video over here, which is by Unchained. If you type in Gavin Wood Unchained, then you're going to go to this interview, and it's a very interesting 1.5 hours, but yeah, definitely worth the time if you actually want to get involved with Polkadot. Okay, and then with regards to my return on investment, in January was actually a pretty good day. Yeah, well, that would be interesting. A pretty good month. So with regards to my stocks, I had a 13.6% return on investment. Crypto was 37.7. It was a beautiful month for crypto. So the total ROI in a month was 23%. Yeah, beautiful, of course. I don't think that's going to be sustainable over time. I definitely think there are going to be negative months as well, but so far it has been pretty interesting. And with regards to a business update, so what I said in the beginning, right, I want to be a little bit transparent with you about how much money is actually coming in, how much money is going out. So with regards to my translation business, I'm currently making a little bit, well, around like, I think on average it's like 1,500 to 2,000 per month. So that's translating documents. I do translating of the medical documents mainly. So instructions for use for medical devices. So that's where I get my money from mainly. And then the current money that I get from YouTube is 260 euros per month. It's of course not a lot, but hey, it's a start for a relatively small channel like I have right now, of course, right? So yeah, that's a total of 2,300, and my expenses just are personal expenses, 1,800 euros rather in personal expenses right now. Also bought a yearly subscription, by the way, for Seeking Alpha. I think that's a pretty interesting or good investment to have. I'll actually quickly show you what Seeking Alpha is if you don't know it yet. So Seeking Alpha is basically this platform where people can post their analyses, and yeah, you can just type in any stock you want, and then you can get all types of analysis. You're also going to get a lot of news, so this is where I get a lot of my news from for my short stock o'clock videos. So yeah, as I said, you can just type in any ticker you want. You can go to Tesla, and then you're going to find multiple analyses. So this is very interesting to get a view from like the bullish side, the neutral side, also the bearish side, the very bearish side, if you will. Also from, well, this article, for example, is very bearish. So it's always good to see like multiple angles of a story, right? It's not always good to only look at the bullish points of a company, but also look at the bearish points of a company. Sir, what about Apple future? Your view, what? Not sure if I understand that question, Vazal. What's about Apple future? Your view end of February. So you're asking me what I think about the stock Apple at the end of February? No idea. I don't really do time analysis. I can't say at the end of February it's going to be X and at the end of March it's going to be Y. Yeah, I don't really do that. I use technical analysis to determine a little bit like my prices, if you will, but I can't really do specific. I don't think it can be done to say, okay, at the end of this year, the price of this stock is going to be this. You know, it's just impossible in my opinion. Okay, what else do I want to talk about? I think that's basically what I wanted to talk about. So if you have any questions with regards to my portfolio, if you have any questions with regards to my business, definitely let me know. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can be. Yeah, if you have any specific questions, then definitely let me know. And if not, then let's just take a look at a few of the charts, right? Because what I love is technical analysis. I think technical analysis is basically what got me started with investing. I started investing in, I bought a little bit of Bitcoin at the end of 2019. And then in the beginning of, at the end of January, actually, January 2020, so last year, I started investing in stocks. So relatively new to the space, actually. I'm just in the space for 1 year now, almost exactly. And what I started out with were the videos of a guy called Crypto Crown, Eric Crown. He's actually called Eric Crown. And he's got a YouTube channel as well. If you like technical analysis, definitely check out the channel Crown's Crypto Cave. Crown's Crypto Cave. He does very good technical analysis. He was a market maker at the New York Stock Exchange ARCA. So he actually worked there professionally, and now he does it, for his own good, if you will. So I basically learned all my technical analysis from him, from his videos, and also done his course. Yeah, I just loved it, and I really like doing technical analysis. If you know me a little bit, you probably know that I like these little graphs, and I like numbers, and I like Excel sheets and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just take a look at a few things, okay? So this is the chart for SPY, so the ETF for the S&P 500. Had a beautiful week, of course. Let's see, the week was actually up quite a bit, 4.77%. We had a beautiful candlestick, which is higher than the previous one, so we already have new all-time highs. With regards to the daily chart, we can also see that we're just creating new all-time highs. I think during the last live stream, I was actually talking about this white line over here. If you don't know it, this is called the 55 daily exponential moving average. What this does is basically tracing or tracking the average price of the last 55 days. And it gives a little bit more importance to the most recent couple of days instead of the previous couple of days, right? So the 55 EMA, the 55 exponential moving average, is usually used quite a bit as support in stocks. And right now in, SPY, we can see that it has been used as support multiple times. So we saw, for example, over here in June 2020, it was used as support. In June, again, at the end of June 2020, it was used as support again. Then here we actually broke below the 55 EMA here again, but we actually did quickly revert back to the upside. So it's actually interesting to see that we here also exactly touched the 55 EMA and then had the massive move back to the upside. So these EMAs are a very useful and a very easy tool for beginners to use with regards to technical analysis. I'm not going to talk about the rest of the indicators for this one. So Dow Jones, very similar, didn't make all-time highs just yet, but very close. We do have a little bit of resistance, of course, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be very important. And Nasdaq looks very similar as well. Okay, let's see. Before I jump into some of my stocks in the portfolio, let's see if we have some questions. I often find the bearish side to be more truthful and accurate. Yeah, I like that comment. I do think there's lots to be said about that. I usually like, I think I mainly like the people that talk about both the bullish sides and the bearish side as well. And I think Dave Lee does a very good job for that as well. He tries to highlight both ends. And I think Meet Kevin is also very good at that. He also tries to talk about both sides as well, right? What I personally usually do is I try to look at everything, right? I try to look at the bullish side to see what kind of pro arguments there are. I try to look at the bearish side to see what kind of bad arguments there are. But I should actually be honest to myself. I should look more at the bearish sides than I currently am doing right now. I think I'm more drawn to the bullish ones because I think in your mind it's more reassuring to read bullish thoughts than bearish thoughts, right? But I should do it more than I already do right now. Want to hear your thoughts about VGI. That's interesting. It's funny you talk about that because today I actually listened to Meet Kevin talk about that. If you haven't watched his video just yet, definitely check it out. I haven't done any additional research. I only watched Meet Kevin's video, and basically what he said was he actually uses the product. It's an interesting product, to be honest, but apparently the last, I think, 3 years, the revenue has been declining quite a bit actually. And they estimate that it's going to bounce back up, of course, but yeah, estimations are not entirely to be trusted. Yeah, I didn't look into the company. I think it's an interesting concept, but check out Meet Kevin's video, and if you haven't, then that could be interesting. Did you have UAVS yet? Yes, I did. I made multiple videos about Ag Eagle. It's actually my biggest holding right now. Because it has gone up so much. We could actually talk a little bit about that right now, because we were just going to talk about my my portfolio anyways. So I talked about Ag Eagle right before this went up, I believe, because I got into, I think, 275 or something like that. I thought that the drone industry was going to be quite important. And I made a video, like a general video, about all of these companies like EHang, Ag Eagle, also, what's it called, FLT, I forgot the main, Drone Delivery Canada, and some other ones as well. And yeah, I got in relatively early and made a few videos about Ag Eagle. If you haven't watched them, then check them out, of course. I basically held on to all of my shares until... I'm not entirely sure about the prices, to be honest with you, but basically almost to, I don't really want to say that, but basically almost to this point, like $14 or $13.50. I'm not entirely sure where I took some profits, but I did take some profits over here, I believe. I could open my account right now, but yeah, that might take a little bit too long. But all my trades, I communicate with my trades with the Discord community. If you haven't checked that out yet, then please do so. I have a Discord community. If you want to join, you can go to nesami.com/discord and you can join for free. There's also a premium section where my members get alerted when I actually buy or sell stocks. And I suppose that I also talked about UAVS. Let's actually take a quick look. Trying to add more buying, blah, 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 resources, taking some more profits. So that was on the 21st. On the 21st of January, I took profits. So yeah, that was right here on this day where the price action was roaming like around 13.50. It probably was something like that. And yeah, I did take some profits, and I got in, I added some more shares because of the news about MicaSense. They acquired a drone sensor company, and I thought that was an interesting acquisition. I made a video about that as well, and I added some around like $11, I believe, something like that. So yes, Ag Eagle I do have. EHang, oh my god. So I really wanted to get into this company. I knew about EHang for a while before this massive run up. The problem was, and this is a major mistake I made, I thought that they were only interested in like passenger transportation, and I was not really bullish about transportation of passengers, right? I wanted package delivery drones because I think that's where the most of the money is going to be made. For some reason, I did not know that EHang actually had a partnership with DHL. I completely missed that, and if I had known that, then I would definitely have started a position way over here when I started my position in Ag Eagle, which was, yeah, in the middle of December, I suppose. So in the middle of December, we were right around here. So like $20, I probably could have gotten in right around that point. Yeah, I really want to get into EHang. Currently, I'm a little bit waiting. Why am I waiting? Mainly because of technical analysis right here. What we do see is we are right now having a lower high. So this is your high over here. These are candlesticks. And if you zoom in a little bit, this is a high, right? Then we went down. This is a low. And then we had here another high, and this high is lower than this one. So that's usually a bearish signal, if you will. That could mean the start of a downtrend. So let's see where we end up right now if we are going to make a lower low or a higher low compared to this low, right? So I'm now going to be looking very closely at this price over here. So basically the $66. If it's going to be going lower than that, I'll definitely wait a little bit. If we actually do seem to go back up, then I'll probably still start my position, because I do want to get started at some point. Current market cap is 2.4 billion according to TradingView. And yeah, I think that this could definitely be a beautiful company in the long term. Also, if you look at the RSI, for example, so this is a indicator that indicates the strength of a trend. And the RSI is the blue line over here. The white line is the so-called exponential moving average on the RSI. So the thing is, what usually happens if the RSI breaks the exponential moving average and then gets above or gets back up again, and then it uses this EMA as sort of resistance, if you will, then that could also be the start of a downtrend. Not sure if we have any additional examples before that. No, not really. But yeah, this looks a little bit bearish to me, and I'm just going to wait a little bit until we see some more price action. This is a MACD, so the blue line is the MACD crossing the signal line, which is the orange line, and that could also mean the start of a longer downtrend than we've already seen. So I'm just going to wait a little bit, but at some point I'll definitely start accumulating EHang. I see you switched SBE to TPGY. I didn't switch. SBE is still a part of my portfolio. Let me actually take a sip of my water, and let me actually pull up this chart, I suppose. Okay, so this is the allocation of my portfolio as of the 1st of February. It's not entirely accurate anymore, because I think SBE went down a little bit and TPGY went up a little bit. But SBE is still my larger position compared to TPGY. I still think that ChargePoint has a slightly higher probability of winning the battle of EV charging stations compared to TPGY. But I do think that if you're an investor right now, because I got in relatively early in ChargePoint, if you are an investor right now and you're looking at these two companies, I would say that TPGY right now is the better option, because it seems to be more undervalued. I made a whole video about switchback energy, well, SBE versus TPGY versus CLII. If you want more information about that, check that video out. Okay. So here you can also see, by the way, that Ag Eagle UAVS is definitely my largest position right now, then Lemonade, then Tesla. So that's my top 3 holdings. And ALPP, we'll probably take a look at that a little bit later on, but that has gone up quite a bit as well in the last couple of weeks. Been an insane couple of weeks. Sold my CCIV Friday at the top, 35-ish. Oh, really? Last Friday. Okay, let's see. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, CCIV is interesting, right? I personally don't really invest or start swing trades in SPACs that I don't know the exact target. I mean, I know they're likely to emerge with Lucid Motors, but it's not 100% confirmed, right? I saw on StockTwits, if you don't know that website, then you can definitely check that out as well. So I saw on this website that there are a few other SPACs that could actually be taking Lucid Motors away from CCIV. I think mainly Chamath Palihapitiya has a SPAC. I think it's IPOF. I'm not entirely sure. That might actually snatch a Lucid Motors from CCIV. Probably is not going to happen. I do kind of think that CCIV is going to win at the end. But yeah, I just don't really like doing that myself. I like to have a little bit more of certainty, if you will. I rather invest in SPACs when they actually file their S4 filings. Thank you for the CLII clarification. Yeah, no problem. Sure. Okay, what else do we want to talk about? So again, if you have any questions, let me know. And if not, I'm just going to go through my portfolio a little bit to see if there's anything interesting that I need to take a look into, and maybe also interesting things for you to take a look at, right? Here we have a chart of Alibaba. Alibaba, with regards to technical analysis, looks pretty good. They had their earnings this week, had pretty good earnings. They beat their estimated, beat their EPS estimations, or estimates, I would say. by quite a bit, and the uncertainty with regards to Ant Group is also going down, so that is pretty bullish in general. With regards to technical analysis, it seems to be trading right now above this white line we have been talking about earlier on. As you can see, when this white line was broken, then it started to trade below that, and it used the white line as resistance right over here. And it went down more and more, and then we went and traded above it, and now it seems to be used as support instead. So as long as it's above this white line, I'm not really worried about Alibaba. I think it's a good hold to have still. And yeah, with regards to the RSI, looks pretty good as well. As we can see, the blue, so the blue line, the RSI, actually has gone above the white line, the EMA, the exponential moving average, has gone up and then has come down. Now it seems to be using this EMA as support over here, and hopefully is going to go back up. So I think that looks pretty good. Alibaba is a company that I will sell out at some point. Why? Well, I currently want, already talked a little bit about that, right? I currently want companies that are number one in their sector, in their niche, and also companies that still have multiple cycles of growth left, right? And that basically means that they usually have a lower market cap than these big companies like Alibaba, for example. So Alibaba already is sitting at a market cap of 718 billion. Is this going to go like 5x in the next couple of 5 years? I don't think so. Is it going to go 5x in the next couple of 10 years? Probably not. Maybe it could happen. But yeah, it's just a little bit more unlikely if you compare this to, for example, Switchback or ChargePoint, right? I think ChargePoint could actually go like 5x within 10 years. Something like that, definitely, if they execute as well as they could. Okay, BFT, this is the SPAC that's going to merge with PaySafe. I made a valuation video about this, and this, I believe, is slightly above $20 as a fair value. So far, I'm just going to hold it. Likely just going to hold it until they actually have their merger. Yeah, I do think there's some more upside to go. We're at $17.89 right now. But yeah, I do think we can have some more room to the upside. GIK, so that's, keep forgetting, a lightning emote, right? I keep forgetting all these names. There's so many SPACs to look at, it's insane. So GIK is, I think, relatively undervalued still as well. I think definitely has some more upside. I'm not going to talk about all of these. Hyliion is probably my biggest mistake of 2020, right? So if you like hearing about people's mistakes, well, this is my biggest mistake of 2020. I'm pretty sure about that. So when I started investing in this company, I think it was around this point, around like $24, $25. If I recall correctly, it was like August 2020. I was a complete noob with regards to SPACs. I didn't really know much about them. I just saw the hype and I saw the company and I liked it. And I liked Thomas Healy and I thought this was going to the moon. And it did go to the moon. It did go to like $55. And then it stayed there for a while. And I was like, well, after the merger, this is going to go to $100 for sure. Because this is just a beautiful company, a beautiful product, a beautiful CEO. So this is going to go to the moon. I didn't know anything about valuations just yet. And then we had the merger and on the 2nd of October in 2020, and this just went to yeah, $20 and below. And I basically thought, yeah, this is just going to go up over time for sure. And then I started to learn more about valuations of SPACs, and then I discovered that it actually had a fair price of $20.46 per share. So yeah, that was just my biggest mistake. I'm still back holding this one. Still back holding it. Why? Because I think it's slightly undervalued right now. The problem is this is trading with Nikola, I think. And the bizarre thing, in my opinion, is that Nikola is still trading relatively high, still has a market cap of like 9 billion, whereas I don't think any people out there are still trusting this company. I'm not sure if you have a different opinion about that, but yeah, it's crazy that Nikola is still trading at a $9 billion market cap instead of Hyliion, which I don't even know what Hyliion is trading at right now, because I don't think that TradingView actually indicates the right amount. We can actually take a look if Yahoo Finance indicates the right market cap of Hyliion right now. It's probably like 1.5 billion or 2 billion. Oh, 2.4 billion according to Yahoo Finance. Okay. A little bit more than I expected, but yeah. I do think this could be slightly undervalued still. And with regards to technical analysis, it seems to have a major, let's zoom in a little bit, major support over here at around $15 more or less, because it had support over here, and hopefully it's going to hold as support over here as well. If it doesn't hold as support, you know, it's a very slight percentage. I mean, if you remember this, is it actually in here? No, it's in here, I guess. Oh, you can't really see it. Well, it's a very small percentage of my portfolio, I can tell you that. But yeah, I'm still kind of waiting until this goes back up to like $20.46, right? Let's see. Do you have any thoughts on Romeo? Yeah, we can talk about that. Let's very quickly go to IPV. Yeah, a little bit boring, I suppose. NPA does its thing. Let's just go to Romeo. Let's just go to Romeo. So Romeo was actually a swing trade that I added last week, I believe. Why? I sold something and I traded it for Romeo. Why? What did I trade for Romeo? I don't even remember anymore. Well, whatever. Doesn't really matter. So I actually got into Romeo. Mainly because of technical analysis, and no, that's just not true. I made a valuation video for this company as well, Romeo. If you actually go to my Google Sheets, if you're in the Discord, you have access to the Google Sheets, and in the Google Sheets, I put all my SPAC valuations that I've done so far. It's a sheet that looks exactly like this because it's exactly this one. Let's see, it's working right now. So Romeo still, I believe, is one of the most undervalued SPACs right now. Of course, this is based on the investor presentation, right? So yeah, with regards to these estimates, I mean, you can trust them, you cannot trust them, but based on the investor presentations, this is still a very undervalued. It still has a midpoint valuation of $44. So that's one of the reasons I actually got into this. And with regards to technical analysis, again, we talked about this white line, the 55 EMA. It seems to be using the 55 EMA as support, and it also has quite massive support over here because of, let's zoom in a little bit. Because of this support, because of this resistance, first of all, created resistance, didn't go, went back up, resistance again, then crossed it, used it as support, went back up, used it as support, went back up, used it as support, went back up, used it as support. So I think this is a pretty major support line over here at $18.44, more or less, of course. It's not exact. So yeah, I do actually think this can have some more upside. Maybe I got in a little bit too early because usually I want to wait until we actually have confirmation of the reversal. And so far, especially if we look at RSI, for example, mainly I usually wait for the RSI to cross back above the white line, so the RSI above the EMA on the RSI. And also, I'm not going to explain this, a little bit too complicated. And I usually also wait for the MACD to cross back to the upside as well, right? So the MACD, this blue line crossing back to the upside, crossing the orange line here. Because usually that's a good indicator as well. Because here, for example, you saw a bearish cross, so the blue line crossed the orange line, and then we saw that we already had gone down quite a bit. So yeah, that's basically it with regards to Romeo. I think it's undervalued. One thing I want to say with regards to Romeo is that I believe it's trading with QuantumScape. So if you put these together, I think I can actually... TradingView, by the way, is a beautiful tool to have. If we put this at a line chart, if we get rid of the EMAs for now, if we also get rid of the hide drawings, yeah, beautiful. And let's now go to add symbol and do QS. So, okay. So you now have QS is this orange line. This is the price chart of QuantumScape. And the blue line is the line. Let's actually also get rid of the volume for now. The blue line is Romeo, right? So basically Romeo is trading together with QuantumScape. If QuantumScape goes up, Romeo is going up as well. And yeah, if QuantumScape goes down, Romeo is going down as well. And the problem is, I think that QuantumScape is actually kind of overvalued, and people don't really believe QuantumScape anymore for many reasons, I think. And that's why I think that QuantumScape actually could stay low, being overvalued. And that means that Romeo, if it follows the trend, actually, it stays low as well, but it's undervalued. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, yeah, if QuantumScape actually keeps going sideways, if it keeps going down, I'm not sure if Romeo is going to go up instead, right? Because these are trading relatively, together with each other, I would say. Okay, let's actually get rid of QuantumScape. Let's get back this, this, and this. And I want my beautiful candlesticks back. Good. I don't want these EMAs, but I do want that EMA. Great. Okay. Let's see. Best of luck. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you. Thank you, Nifty. Bloom Energy, does it go up and down a lot? Any thoughts? Bloom Energy. Reasons. Bloom Energy Corporation, I suppose. I suppose that's the only one. I don't know this company. Bloom Energy. Yeah, I guess that's one. Does it go up and down a lot? Any thoughts? Well, it does not go up and down a lot, I would say. If I purely look at the charts, it just seems to go up quite a lot. Since November, it just seems to go up, quite a bit. And I don't really see any major downtrends. I mean, some people see this and then they say, well, it has gone down 7.67% in one day. Help, what should I do? But yeah, then please zoom out. And then you're going to see that you're going to have just a beautiful chart. And then it looks quite different, right? It's a company that's at 7 billion. Okay. Is this a charging station company? Might actually look into that. Bloom Energy. Can't even spell it these times anymore. So yeah, looks good. Any reasons for it to go up? I don't know. I don't know this company, so I can't really say anything useful about this, to be honest. Keep in mind that they're going to have earnings next week, I suppose, on the 10th of February. It's on Wednesday. So if you're into this company, then keep that in your mind and maybe also go to the earnings call and see if you can get anything useful about this company, right? Okay. Let's see, TSIA. So I made a video about this company. I think this is a nice comparable company to have. If you also like the company View, then this could be an interesting additional company to have. If you want a little bit more information about this company, this is a smart home company. So they have a lot of like smart devices for your own home. Very compatible as well with Airbnbs because they have these systems like these guest management systems that you can let people get access to your homes. If you rent out an Airbnb, you can use these systems to give access to these people in a smart way, if you will, instead of just handing them a key. But yeah, a very interesting spec, but keep in mind the user reviews on the Google Play Store, because those are quite bad. So I'm probably keeping this only as a swing trade. I'm probably not going to hold this for a long time, but still need to do more research about this company. And when I click on Xpeng and I zoom out a little bit, I'm going to take a sip of my water. So Xpeng, I got into this as a swing trade at around like $45, I believe, around this point, or like I think maybe on 4th of January might even be the case. Yeah, I think so, actually. I think so. So I got into this. I probably should have taken some profits on this day or this day. And because of technical analysis, I won't explain the entire process. No, I actually probably should have taken profits on this day, on the 27th of January. Mainly because of, well, something called bearish divergence on the RSI, but I'm not going to bore you with that, so that's going to take maybe a little bit too long to explain. Good thing, though, is that it currently is also sitting at this 55 EMA, so this 55 exponential moving average, which was used as support over here, and hopefully as support over here as well. I do have a good faith in this company in the long term. I think this will go up still quite a bit. Let's actually take a look at NEO. I haven't taken a look. Yeah, so this usually is trading with NEO together with NEO. I think if NEO is going to go up, then Xpeng is probably going to go up as well. They had pretty good numbers for 2020, and I believe for January 2021, so this year, they also had pretty good numbers. But as you can see, the volume, so these gray bars over here are just getting quite low, so I kind of expect that there might be a bigger move coming in soon, I would say. Usually when you have volume going down like this, then you usually get at some point when you have just a massive spike in volume and you have a massive move either to the upside or to the downside. I'd put a higher probability on it going back to the upside. Okay, let's see. Do you have any questions? WPF SPAC. Is that? Oh, interesting. So these are the guys from BFT, from PaySafe, right? I don't know anything about this company. I was just noticing a website that I also use myself, SpacTrax. So let's actually go to SpacTrax and let's click on SPAC profiles to see if they actually have a target. Allied Solutions. Okay. A leading cloud-based provider of integrated digital human capital and business solutions. All right. Sounds interesting. I could take a look at that later on. So yeah, SpacTrax is a very interesting, very good website to have. SPACTRAX is the website. So you have here all these SPAC profiles, so you simply can look for any SPAC you want. Then you can have some basic information about this company. You usually have access to the investor presentation as well. And you can also look at their SEC filings. I usually take a look at mainly at the S4 filings. And apparently this doesn't have an S4 filing just yet. So we might not even have transaction details. No, we do have transaction details. Okay. So this company is already valued at 5.4 billion. And it's going to have... Okay. Going to have quite some debt on their balance sheet, so keep that in mind. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that, but yeah, keep that in mind. It's kind of important. Yeah, there we go. William B. Foley. Yeah, okay. I'll take a look later because I'm not going to go through that right now. It's going to take a little bit too much time. But definitely check out this website, SpacTrax. You can also find their calendar over here, which I believe someone talked about. Joe, I think. Yeah, Joe has says that SpacTrax has a very good calendar of upcoming events and SPAC profiles. Exactly. So we already talked about those SPAC profiles, and yeah, exactly. Here you can see the upcoming mergers and upcoming events. I think I usually mainly look at these blue ones. I think these are, yeah, these are less relevant, but the blue ones are, I think, most relevant. These are usually the merger vote days. So, for example, for this one, vote to approve combination with Metromile. So that's for INAQ, my lord. MCAC. Isn't this going to merge with Playboy? Beautiful. Vote to approve combination of that. MBAC is a big one, right? Nuvi, I think. Isn't that a Nuvi? I think so. Vote to extend. Okay. So they're going to extend through May. I'm not sure why that is, but it's interesting to keep in mind. And also approve, this is PANA, so that is also going to vote to approve. And of course, Switchback Energy is going to have its vote on Friday, the 11th. That's going to be important. Yeah, I suppose it's just a formality. I think the large majority of SPACs are just going to get approved anyways. But yeah, they are going to vote on this on Friday to approve the combination with ChargePoint. So usually the ticker symbol changes a few days afterwards. So I imagine that this either changes on Monday or Tuesday, probably. Not entirely. Probably on Tuesday, maybe on Monday. I would suppose that they are going to change the ticker symbol, I think, to CHPT, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, a good indicator or a good website to have. For sure. Thanks, Joe, for bringing that up as well. Let's go back to a few questions. So we talked about WPF, NEO. I don't own any NEO. We briefly talked about it. I don't own NEO. Favorite indicator. With regards to technical analysis, I think my favorite indicator, either the exponential moving averages, because they tend out to be very useful, especially the 55 EMA, as we've just been seeing for a couple of stocks right now, but also the lower EMA. So I use the 8 EMA, which is the yellow line, the 13 EMA, which is the blue line, and the purple EMA, which is the purple, the 21 EMA, which is the purple line. Oh my lord. Speaking is difficult sometimes, especially on these live streams. It's difficult at times. So I really like the exponential moving averages, especially for beginners. It's really, I think, relatively easy to understand as well. And I also really like the RSI. So that's probably, I think those two are the most important indicators to start out with if you are a beginner and you want to know a little bit more about technical analysis. And if I could add a third one, it probably would be horizontal support and resistance, because it's very useful to... this is what we need, right? It's very useful to see where potential support and resistances could be. I just drew a line. I think this is a big support line for WPF, for example, right? Haven't looked into this spec, of course, but again, I think that this support, this created some support over here, had some support over here, so it's likely that it's going to trade below this level of $10.90, more or less. So yeah, I think EMAs, exponential moving averages, RSI, horizontal support and resistance. Look at NEO. Do we want to talk about NEO, like technical analysis wise? Yeah, sure, a little bit. So I also drew horizontal support and resistance lines over here. As you can see, I drew two. I drew one here, which had support, 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 and I drew one here, which had resistance, support, support. So I think as... Whoop, that's not what I want to show. Oh, whatever. That's also funny. So yeah, I think as long as it stays above this level of about like $56.80, it's probably all fine. As you can see, it also seems to be trading above this purple EMA, so the 21 EMA, but I think it's mainly trading here because of this resistance line, right? So this, this support line over here. So support, resistance over here and support over here. But if we go to the other indicators and we look at the RSI, we can see that it's actually trading below the EMA, so the blue line trading below the white line. And that could indicate we could have some more downside to go, or that we stay trading like sideways for a while until the indicators have reset, if you will. The indicators have gone back down, and yeah, then it would be time for NEO to break out. So I kind of think that if I look at indicators, like the stochastics, the RSI, the MACD, I do think we either likely go sideways a little bit more or go down a little bit, probably touch the 55 EMA, so the white line over here. And then I do actually suspect a move back to the upside, because I think it's way more likely. I think it's like 80% likelihood, or maybe a little bit less, but I think it's a good likelihood that it's going to break out to the upside instead of the downside, right? Also keep in mind their earnings on the 9th of March, so that's in like 1 month right now. So they could, what they usually do, companies or stocks like these, what they usually do is to have a rally into the earnings, because I think especially companies like NEO and XPeng are going to have relatively good earnings. And these companies usually rally into the earnings, so they go up until the earnings. Thanks about Bloom. Thanks for the TPGY video. Bought some stocks. Great. Don't. I suppose it's obvious, but always keep in mind, like always, do your own due diligence, right? I have to repeat that over and over again, but I do think it's very important to take that into your beautiful mind. It's very tempting to only look at YouTube videos and make your decisions based on that. But always do your own due diligence. Go to Seeking Alpha, go to Yahoo Finance, just Google stuff and find out what other people think and find out stuff about the companies. Also go to websites, websites like this one to find out stuff about SPACs. You can also go to sec.gov, which is the which is sec.gov. Which is the website of the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. You can look for companies over here. So let's say you're interested in, well, NEO is probably not a good example because it's in China. Let's say, well, Tesla, for example. So you go to Tesla, and here you can find all kinds of information. What I personally usually look at is their 10Qs, which is the quarterly earnings, the 10Qs, and the 10Ks, which is the yearly annual report. So here you can find a lot of information about like the financial stuff, the financial information about a company, things like revenue and things like balance sheet. It's good to take a look at that, and also just interesting things about the company itself, right? So a little bit about the people Elon Musk has served as our since October 2008. Okay. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting to take a look at that. Okay, let's get back to the charts. Let's see. Hope Neo goes up. Yeah, everyone, man. Lee Auto, yeah, as well. 500 shares. Okay, let's go. GG. SVFA, right? We actually wrote that down. I wrote that down a while ago, right? Does this even have a target yet? So this is a SPAC, right? Let's go to SPAC profiles. SVFA. They're seeking a target according to SPAC tracks. So, do you know if they have like a target in mind? It would be interesting to see. HEC. I think that's also a SPAC. So many SPACs, man. This one, right? Yeah, I think so. Does this already have a target? Talkspace. All right. I think I quickly read about this one, but didn't do any due diligence just yet. So Talkspace is a leading digital and virtual behavioral healthcare company. Okay, interesting. I personally don't really invest a lot in healthcare because it's a sector that I don't understand fully yet. I do want to understand it more in the future, of course. So far, I'm mainly focused on EVs and drones is another sector that I'm looking at quite a bit right now. And not so much healthcare just yet, but yeah, it could be an interesting stock for sure. And is relatively close still to the $10 per share, right? So yeah, if this actually has a good valuation, then it could be. Well, look at that. Good way to start your good way to start your investor presentation, I suppose. Who is this guy? This is like the CEO of Talkspace. It's interesting to start your presentation with that. Wait, today's attendees, co-founder, blah blah blah. Talks. Wait, is this the Frank guy or what? Who's this guy? I don't know. I don't see him here. Whatever. Let's see. So they compare themselves to Teladoc. If you purely look at, well, this is a very quick valuation, right? If you purely look at the EV over revenue, so the EV to sales ratio of 2021, and you look at Teladoc and you look at Amwell, you can see that Talkspace is basically twice as cheap compared to these companies. So based on these metrics, you could say, well, Talkspace should go 2 times, should go 100% up, right? So that basically means that it goes up to about $20. If you look at the EV to sales ratio of 2022, it gets even more attractive. Then you could say, well, it could even go to about like $25 because it's like 2.5x up to Teladoc's multiple over here. Amwell even has a multiple of 18x, so that's almost a 3x. So that means that based on a share price of $10 per share, it could even go to almost $30 per share, right? But yeah, I could maybe take a look at that later on. I think I even have this in my my list of SPACs to look at. Let's actually write that down. Valuation video HEC. Pace. I think I read about that as well. Too many SPACs, man. Too many SPACs. Pace. Which one is it? This one? Nerdy? They are merging with Nerdy? It's a beautiful company. A leading direct-to-consumer curated gig economy platform for live online learning. Okay. Is that like no, a gig economy platform? That sounds like Fiverr and Upwork, right? That sounds like Fiverr and Upwork, but is it like an online educational SPAC or sorry company? Disclaimers. Hey, TPG. TPG is the one behind EV Box, so TPGY. But okay, so this is one of their additional SPACs or like subsequent SPACs, if you will. Okay. Let's take a very quick look, shall we? Investment thesis, education market, moving online quickly. Yes. Okay, so it's more Coursera, Udemy, and I suppose also a company that I'm investing in currently, 2U. I suppose 2U is the leader, I would say. But this could be an option as well, of course. Let's take a look at the valuation. Two-sided network, value proposition. AI? Do they use? Okay. It's interesting. Just scrolling through to see if I see anything interesting. I mean, this is always so funny. The companies compare themselves with companies that just have nothing to do with their own company. Yeah, doesn't really make sense, but whatever. Strong growth. Okay. Where's the transaction? Come on, give it to me. Man, there's such a long financials. Year-over-year growth seems all right. At least they already have quite some revenue compared to their subsequent years, so that's pretty solid. They do expect to have way higher growth compared to the previous year. So, what would explain that? Maybe the SPAC money that they get could be an option, because with the SPAC money they could be able to scale a little bit faster. But yeah, these numbers are quite a bit higher than the previous year, so would need a reason for that. And it's valued at 1.4 billion, or at least the enterprise value is at 1.4 billion. Let's also put this case in my stock list. 1.4 billion. I think to you right now, what is it valued at? So it says 3.3 billion. Yeah, could be. Okay. I'll look into this. Could be interesting. Let's see if they actually have a valuation. No, it's just the benchmarking. So yeah, this is a little bit similar. Right? You can see that they have an EV to sales ratio in 2022 of 7.1x, and the average EV to sales ratios of all these companies. And they even compare themselves. Why would you compare yourself with Airbnb? I just don't understand that. Whatever. I suppose it makes a little bit more sense to compare yourself with like Fiverr and Chegg, and 2U, I suppose. But yeah, maybe not with Airbnb and DoorDash. Maybe you have a good reason for that, but I just don't understand it. Anyways, with regards to the valuation, if the EV to sales ratio of Nerdy is 7.1. If the average EV to sales ratio of the rest of these companies is 17, you can say, well, it should go up about 2.5x to meet that EV to sales ratio, right? So based on a share price of $10 per share, it could go to like $25 more or less, purely based on this slide over here. Okay. What's up, learning to compound? How you doing? You're a beast. So you talked about this company to me a little bit. I haven't done additional research just yet. Actually, it looks like a beautiful entry right now. Very quick analysis of a very quick technical analysis. Is Yahoo Finance correct in stating that it's just $50 million in market cap? Let's actually go to Yahoo Finance and go to KBNT. 75 million, yeah. So personally, I know you like the 100 baggers, I know you do. Personally, I don't invest a lot yet in micro-cap companies. Maybe I should do that a little bit more, but usually I like companies that have a little bit more of a proven track record, if you will. But yeah, it's definitely good to look at these companies as well, right? Especially if you've done the research and you say that this could be a potential 100 bagger, right? So yeah, it's definitely could be an interesting company. I haven't done my additional research, so I'm sorry for that. But with regards to technical analysis, it does actually look very good right now. I think maybe now would be almost the best time. Why? Well, this line, so the 55 EMA again, was used as support, and now seems to be going back up. We had a little bit of resistance over here, because it was used as resistance over here, but now on Friday it actually closed above this resistance, which is actually a good sign, with relatively high volume as well. So this gray bar over here indicates the volume, and it was above the average line, so pretty good average, pretty good volume as well. If you look at the RSI, it actually crossed back up to the EMA. EMA is actually crossing back up to the upside as well, so it looks pretty good. And I love this. This is a special stochastic. You don't have access to it because this is connected to a course of Crown's Crypto Cave. I think this is a beautiful indicator to have. The thing is, usually this gives off a buy signal if exactly this is happening. So that's cool. What happens is the blue line, let's call it just blue line and pink line because it doesn't really matter what it actually means. The blue line crosses the pink line, then goes back down, uses it exactly as support, and then goes back up. That's usually a beautiful sign to have right here. So yeah, looks pretty good. And MACD is crossing back up to the upside as well. So with regards to technical analysis, this looks very beautiful actually. Maybe I could even start a swing trade. Who knows? Maybe I could even start a swing trade. I might not even have access to this stock. Is it on OTC or just on NASDAQ? NASDAQ, okay. So I probably will have access to it then. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at this a little bit later on. Let's see if you see anything else. Check out Founder and track record. Okay, Founder. Probably go to 300 to 500 million quickly before going to 1 billion. Yeah, cool. I'll take a look. Thank you again. I'll take a look. How about KBNT? So the warrants, right? Yeah. Purely with regards to tech, I mean, I suppose this is going to trade relatively similar to the stock, right? The just normal shares, right? Just purely based on technical analysis, just this looks a little bit more neutral compared to the technical analysis or to the normal shares, because you don't see the closing above this support, above this resistance over here. So I would look at this resistance. If it closes back above back above 250. I would see that as bullish. We did have nice volume. The RSI didn't cross the EMA just yet. The this indicator doesn't have the same signature, and the MACD isn't crossing back up to the upside yet. So mainly based on technical analysis, I would be more bearish on the warrants than the shares, but I do kind of think that they would go together, right? They would trade together. So yeah. So if I suppose that if KBNT goes up, then I would suppose KBNT, the warrants go up as well. Okay. What's your suggestion for newbies just getting into the market? Ivan, I hope you're still here. I hope you're I hope I'm not making this too difficult, right? Because I'm kind of used to having maybe a little bit more advanced audience. And I know that sometimes people get in and they get overwhelmed a little bit. I'm sorry for that. It's not what I want to do, right? Because, shall I talk about this? Yeah, sure, a little bit. My long-term goal is to actually have my beginners as an audience, right? If you look at my previous videos, the first videos I did were mainly focused on beginner content, because that's the main issue I want to solve. I think there should be more content for beginners, but the problem is that as a YouTuber, it's very difficult to provide content to beginners because it's just a very competitive market, right? Because so many people are talking about beginner stuff that it's very difficult for a starting YouTuber to talk about that kind of thing. So that's why I made the decision to go and create relatively specific content, mainly with regards to SPACs, with regards to valuations of these SPACs, with regards to technical analysis as well. And I know this is more advanced, but this is going to allow me to reach a more dedicated audience. And that allows me as well to rank higher in the YouTube search results, right? So that's the reason why I'm now going very specific. And I'm trying to build an audience right now. And at some point, when I have a large enough audience, I'm going to make more general content for beginners like you, Ivan. So hope you're still around. Suggestion for newbies getting into the market. I don't want to promote myself too much, of course, but you can actually go to my channel, Nesami. Wow, I'm actually telling you what kind of channel I am. Well, you're already here, but whatever. So you can go to my channel, you can go to my playlists. You can go to my playlist and you're going to find how to invest for beginners over here. I'm just going to start playing. I don't want that. It's very cringy to watch these. Oh my god. I actually need to go to another. I can't watch myself like this. Oh my lord. So, you're going to find these videos. This is a series that I created at the beginning of my YouTube career. And this series is dedicated for beginners, right? So this is a series of 6 YouTube videos, relatively short, about why you should invest and how to invest, right? So that's one thing you can do. You can go through these series, and you can also go to, and again, I'll promote myself, but whatever. You're here anyways. You can't decide what I'm going to do. You're going to, you can go to my website, nesami.com/ebook, and I created an ebook for beginners as well, basically almost with the same information as in the videos, but if you like written content a little bit more, then I would suggest you to read this ebook. It's free. You can just download it and yeah, check it out. It's a short ebook, just like I don't know, 10 pages. You can read it in like within 30 minutes for sure, like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So I think that could be an interesting start. What else? Yeah, just get started, I would say. I think just start small. Start small. That's probably one of the best advices that I can give you. Just get started. Try to learn a lot of things. Go to YouTube, find out videos. Learn. That's the only way. Any thoughts on LGVW? Yeah, what did I hear about that? Why did I hear about this company like this week? Was there something specific this week? So this is an interesting company. It is partially backed by Bill Gates, if I'm not mistaken. It's an interesting healthcare device. Again, healthcare, I don't know enough about. It's actually funny that I say that I don't know enough about healthcare, because I do actually do translation in medical documents. But these are very specific documents, very specific instructions for use. So. What did I want to say about LGVW? Are they going to have any specific... Are they going to merge very soon right now or not? They don't have a date just yet, or do they? Ah, February 12th. Oh, wait, I just talked about that. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. February 12th. But they're not on this list. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, they're going to merge on, or they're going to vote on Friday. Right, okay. Did I say, by the way, that Switchback is going to vote on Friday as well? Because they're going to vote on Thursday, the 11th, whatever. Okay, so that's why I why I heard about Longview Acquisition Corp. So yeah, I think it's a very interesting company. I haven't done a valuation video for this company just yet. Keep in mind, maybe watch the video that I did about the effect of merger dates. I made a video about the effect of merger dates a while ago. I suppose it's somewhere here. Where is it? I'm not entirely sure. Was it here? Yeah, I think it's this video. Back bubble. Yeah, I think it's this video over here. So yeah, the one that says I sold SBE. And what I do there is basically look at merger dates of previous SPACs that have already completed their merger, and then look at the effect of the merger date. So what happened after the merger date, right? Usually what you're going to see is that it's trending down or trending up until the merger date, and then trending down after the merger date. So keep that in mind for LGVW as well, so Butterfly. With regards to technical analysis, also use the 55 EMA. I mean, the 55 EMA, it's a good indicator to have. It's a beautiful indicator for support oftentimes. Yeah, what can I say? Looks okay-ish. Doesn't look beautiful. I don't really think that is going to break this resistance over here at $22.15. Maybe it can go back up to this point, but I don't really see it breaking it just yet, because the indicators do seem a little bit more bearish to me. I would suggest that it goes a little bit more sideways, maybe rally into the merger vote on the 11th, and then actually have a sell-off, probably. I mean, if history is going to repeat, it's probably, it can definitely go back up to like $22, and then after like the 12th of February, we could see a downtrend back to, yeah, whatever levels is going to be. Maybe this level over here, which seems to be an important level as well, $17. Because it has some resistance over here and some support over here. Okay, thanks for sharing indicators. No problem, Fazal. No problem. hope you can use that in some way. For future videos, share a list of things you use when doing research of a company and how you find the info you need. Yes, I can do that. Yes. Video idea. Research. Info. So very short with regards to technical analysis, I use TradingView, so this. With regards to the investigation, so the research, I use YouTube, so I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I go to Seeking Alpha, so I read articles on Seeking Alpha. I go to Yahoo Finance to watch any news with regards to the company. And I also go to the website of the SEC, so I just showed that to you as well. And I go to their filings, their quarterly reports and their annual reports mainly. So that's a very brief summary of what I do. Michael Phelps, what's up with that? Isn't he like a swimmer? Just tuned in. What's up? Yeah, how am I going to pronounce that name? Tna? Is that a name? It's a pretty interesting name. Did you go over GIK? I very briefly went over GIK. I think it's relatively undervalued still. I think until we have a merger date, it's probably going to rally up to the merger date. Oh yeah, Michael Phelps, Olympic swimmer. What's up with Michael Phelps? Is he into the butterfly thing? Michael... Jesus, I can't write anymore. Michael Phelps, butterfly. Okay, never mind. Oh my god. Okay, that's... yeah, I could have known that. Okay, what does Michael Phelps do? Oh, I'm sorry. Is he... I can't. Is he involved with the butterfly company, or does he just do butterflies when he's swimming? Let me know. La la la, okay. Have you taken a look at skills? What's up, Eagle? Oh, Lord. Crazy. Oh, had a nice run up. Uh-huh, interesting. Gonna need water soon. I've been here for 1.5 hours as well, yeah. Let's see. Skills. Oh my god. The butterfly thing. That was just ridiculous. What happened on... probably some news happened, right? I don't know what happened on the 4th and 5th of February. Some news probably broke out about this company. Should I sell or should I buy more? I bought at $22 per share. Yeah, I'm not... I can't give you any financial advice, of course, so I can't really tell. I don't know the company, so I can't say anything fundamentally about this company. I believe ARK Invest is investing in this company, so I suppose they think that it's going to have a bright future. You can actually go to, let's go to kathysark.com. This is also an interesting website to go to look at, kathysark.com, and here you can go look for to look at ticker symbols. Didn't they have skills? I thought they had. Combined, maybe? Let me search. Skills. Ah, there you go. So they do have it in their ARKW ETF. A very low percentage, apparently. Just 0.1%, which is, of course, almost nothing. But yeah, they do have it. Let's actually take a look if they bought more shares. If they accumulate. They are accumulating. So here you can see that they had some shares, in like, what is it? Beginning of January 2021, so this year. Then they added some a few weeks ago, and then they added some more. So it seems like they are dollar cost averaging into skills. Weight in portfolio, it was 0.03%, and now it's 0.11%. So yeah, here you can track all the buys as well. And you can just check how many shares they have currently. Okay. With regards to technical analysis, what you can do, because usually when things go up this quickly, it's very difficult to use technical analysis, right? You can't really use a daily chart because it very often goes up and down very quickly. So what I usually do is go down to the 1 hour chart and I use the technical analysis over here. So if I would have this company and I would want to take off a little bit of my position, I'm not saying that you should do that, but if I were in the position that I would want to take off some risk, some shares out of the portfolio, I'd probably go to the 1 hour chart and I'd probably look at these exponential moving averages. As you can see, since the 2nd of February, this was trading above this yellow line, right? So I'd probably say, okay, once this starts closing candlesticks below this yellow line, I might take off some. Or if you look at the RSI, you can see that the RSI, the blue line, has stayed above this EMA, this white line over here. Once this goes below the EMA, so once the blue line, the RSI, goes below the EMA, you could say, okay, maybe it's time to get out. You could also take a look at the MACD. You could say, okay, if this blue line, so the MACD, crosses the orange line, so the signal line, well, maybe it's time to go out. And especially if all these indicators come together, if all these indicators say the same thing, so, and a candlestick, a 1 hour candlestick below this yellow line, and RSI below the EMA, and MACD below signal line, and quite a lot of volume, then you could actually have a pretty good moment to take some profits, I would say, because then you usually have a confirmed reversal. I hope that helps a little bit. If not, I'm sorry. Value of SSPK, wheat maps. I don't know. I haven't looked into this company. Let's see. SSPK. Whoop. Leading online listing marketplace for cannabis. So I don't invest in cannabis myself. It's not that I'm against it. I live in the Netherlands. I mean, I live in the Netherlands, so yeah, we're not really against it, as you might know. But yeah, I don't really invest in these companies. I think it's a little bit more difficult to predict the future of these companies. With regards to the valuation, I don't know, but I can very briefly go through this investor presentation and see if I can see anything interesting happening. Was this the valuation benchmark? Nope. Transaction, so they're valued at 1.4 billion. Comparison. Okay. So you could look at this comparison of the selected companies. You could look at, for example, these EV to sales ratios. For example, here you can see that the median EV to sales ratio was 18x, and their own EV to sales ratio is 6.8x. So that means that it's like a little bit more than 2.5x, right? So from 6.8x to 18x is, it's actually 18.1 divided by 6.8 is 2.66x, right? So you could say that based on a share price of $10 per share, this could go to like $26.60 if you purely look at this EV to sales ratio. So that could be a very quick valuation that you could apply in your own research method. And interestingly enough, it actually topped out at, well, what was this? 20. This is beautiful. This topped out at 20. Oh my god, I called it. So that's actually pretty insane. So if you look at this candlestick over here, the high of this candlestick was at $26.60. Yay! That's actually pretty insane. Okay. Thank you for SRAC. No problem. Oh yeah, there's momentous, right? Your content helps a lot. Thanks, Harrison. I appreciate that. If you, by the way, just a quick side note. If you have any feedback for me, if you have any things that I can improve in my content, right? Whether it be something good, something bad, doesn't matter. If you have anything that I can use to improve my content on YouTube, or like these live streams or whatever, if you think it's boring or if you think this is useful, let me know. Then I will try to implement your feedback, and I'll try to be better over time, right? That's my goal. I always try to learn myself. We talked about that. Football, contact with them. Oh, skills? Yeah, right. Okay, cool. Partnership with NFL, it popped. Carl's excited. Let's go, Carl. Okay, Michael Phelps was the picture on the Pace presentation. Oh, okay. Was that which company were we looking at? Pace? Can't even remember. Oh, the Pace presentation. You even say it, man. I'm blind. So that was the nerdy company. Okay, interesting. I wonder why. I wonder why, but okay, cool. Michael Phelps on the cover. Are you interested in Momentous yourself? Let's actually go back to this sheet over here. So I think that Momentous, SRIAC, is still relatively undervalued. If you look at the valuation that I did, I said that it's going to have a midpoint valuation of about $40, which is relatively high compared to basically just the dollar amount, right? So you could say that it's undervalued still. I'm personally invested in NPA as a swing trade, right? Because I think this is more undervalued compared to Momentous. But let's actually take a look at Momentous because I'm... yeah, it already went up quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably a little bit too late to the party, to be honest with you. If we were back around this moment, I would have said, yes, I'll get in. But it's already at $25. I don't know. Let's take a very brief look at NPA. Yeah, I think NPA is just a little bit more interesting to me because it's still relatively low with regards to the dollar amount and also with regards to the valuation. So that's why I'm in NPA myself as a swing trade. Okay, let's see. Refresher SPAC is merging with a new company. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah, definitely. I think Momentous is a very interesting company, especially with ARC-X being formed. So the space ETF, of course. It's going to be cool to see. And I made a valuation video for that as well for Momentous. BNGO. Now this is like is this now a meme stock or is this like legit? Well, I suppose it's legit, right? Does ARK Invest already have? Where's my tab with ARK Invest? Did I click away? I suppose I did. Kathy's ARK. Sorry for that. Combined. My nose is really itchy. Really annoying. BNGO. Huh. So it's interesting because when I made a video about the big ideas for 2021 for ARK Invest, they were actually talking about bio-nano genomics, right? But they don't have a position yet, so I kind of wonder why they don't have a position yet. Are they waiting for something? I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for this company to grow a little bit more. I don't know. Currently sitting at a valuation of 1.7 billion almost, according to TradingView. Yeah. Purely looking at the technical analysis, I would say it's toppy. Actually, funnily enough, looks a little bit like EHang. So what you have is a few bearish indicators, if you will. First of all, you have a lower high. So you have a high over here, you have a lower high over here. So that could be the first sign of a downtrend. You don't have a candlestick closure below this yellow line yet. If you do, I'd start, well, not getting worried, but there might be a larger pullback coming, right? RSI. If you look at the RSI, the blue line is using the EMA as resistance right now, so that's a bearish indicator as well. This is not bearish just yet, but it could become bearish. And this MACD is also turning back to the downside, so it also is a bearish indicator. So I would say that if this actually closes below this yellow line of like $10.90, if it actually closes below that, because so far we didn't close below that, I could see a correction coming. Do I have any targets for a correction? Yeah, we don't really have a lot of price action, so that's a little bit difficult. We do see it in a little bit of price action going on here, so I do suppose that $9.46 is a little bit of a support. Why? Well, it's created by this high over here, and it also is where these two daily candlesticks are wicking towards. So it could indicate a possible support line of $9.40 more or less. If that doesn't hold, yeah, I'm probably looking at more or less this line over here, because it was created by this candlestick, resistance by this candlestick, and it was used as support over here, more or less. It's not entirely like this, but more or less. Let's actually go to the 1 hour chart, see if we can find anything interesting. Yeah, so if you look at the 1 hour chart, I think this is actually a resistance at 953 more or less. And actually this might be a more important resistance. Yeah, I think this is actually more important. Because you have, support. Because you have this resistance, this support. Yeah, I think that's more important. A little bit here as well, but less relevant. Yeah, okay. So if you look at the 1 hour chart, also have some resistance over here, some support over here. I like just drawing in some lines. So I think these lines would be the most important levels I would be looking at if the daily candlestick closes below this yellow line. Then I would be looking at the 1 hour chart, and I'd be looking at these levels, probably mainly the 953 and the 791 levels. That's the 18, right? I don't know why that popped into my head. Why was I talking about this, by the way? Oh, yeah, but yeah, okay. Do you do a portfolio review? I do, yes. At the beginning of this live stream, I talked a little bit about my portfolio. I didn't show everything, but if you want to look at my portfolio, you can check my video that I did at the beginning of January. This video over here. So it says, well, this 86.9 ROI thumbnail gives you the portfolio that I more or less currently have. I made some changes here and there, but the bulk of it is still correct. So if you want if you want an overview of my portfolio and the returns of 2021, then you can check out that video. Enjoy the stream. Thanks, Harrison. Love it. Eating lunch. Look at that. Hope you haven't been eating lunch for 1 hour and 40 minutes. Glad you're here, by the way. And just thank you for being here, right? It kind of is crazy to me that I'm talking to my computer. I'm talking to a random microphone. I'm looking at screens. I'm looking at a camera. I don't look at a camera often enough. Maybe I should do that more. But it's kind of crazy to me that I look at these things and people are actually watching me on their screens. It's just freaking crazy to me. Yeah, also stupid, crazy to me that I'm a YouTuber that has like 4.5k subs right now, and people are actually following. It's just, yeah, I haven't really gotten used to that yet. How about HOL? Didn't we talk about that? It's that holicity, right? Yeah. I think I have this in my list of specs that I need to do valuation videos for. Let us take a very brief look. Oh, man, my memory is just so bad at times. It's incredible. Why doesn't it pop up? Holicity. There you go. Astrospace. Yeah. Interesting company as well. I think they're not going to have revenue for, they're not going to have a lot of revenue for the next coming years. Yeah. So if you look at 2021, they have almost zero revenue. 2022 is when they start to have some revenue, 67 million. And then 2023 is going to be a more important year, right? So, yeah. Usually I want companies that already have some kind of proven track record, right? Because it's very easy to put up numbers like this. I can say, well, I'm going to have 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. I'm going to make 5,000 euros per month with my YouTube career. It's easy to say, but it's another thing to execute and actually get there. So they're valued at 2.1 billion, having no revenue. Okay, I get that. And yeah, of course, there's a massive, massive opportunities in this space. No pun intended. Okay, so you can actually look at this. This is probably why I wanted to do a video about this valuation, because it's very easy. You can basically say, okay, they already did the math for you. They say, well, our current enterprise valuation is 2.1 billion. Current enterprise 2.11 billion. And if you look at this, they're going to say, well, in 2025, we are going to have almost $700 million in EBITDA. If we apply a multiple of 10x to 12x, you're going to have an enterprise value between 6.9 billion and 8.3 billion in 2025. If we discount that back 4 years, let's actually see if that's correct. So if you take 6.943 divided by 1.2 because of the discount rate of 20%. Nope, no, that's not what I wanted. Freaking back. 6.943 divided by 1.2 to the power of 4 gives you, yeah, so these numbers should be correct. Gives you a current enterprise value of 3.3 billion to 4 billion, right? So they basically say, okay, based on our EBITDA of 2025, we expect to have a valuation, a current fair valuation between 3.3 and 4 billion. Okay, what does that mean? Well, currently they're valued at 2.1 billion, right? At $10 per share. Well, if you now go into the, let's actually very quickly, let's calculate that very briefly, because you're here anyways, and it's not that much of a work to do. So 3.3 plus 4 is this, so the median enterprise value is like 3.65, and they said that they're going to trade right now at, so basically you have based on the just quick math, based on quick math, they say, based on a current enterprise value of $10 per share, we are valued at 2.1 billion. We expect to be valued at around 3.6 billion, 3.65 billion. So that means that from 2.1 to 3.65, you have a multiple of 1.73, which means that you can apply this multiple to the price of $10 per share, which means you have a median fair price per share of $17.38. That's probably a little bit too quick for most of you, but I'm sorry. So yeah, based on their numbers, a median fair price per share would be probably $17.38, more or less. Not entirely, by the way, not entirely. It's a little bit more actually, because they also have some cash on their balance sheet. So it's not entirely correct. It's actually a little bit more. Am I going to do this? No, right? Oh my god, now I'll probably have to do it. So I didn't do it exactly correct. Let me do this correct. I want to do it correctly. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist and I didn't do it entirely correct. So let's pull up my valuation sheet. Let's do it very briefly together, right? So the amount of shares is 261. Okay. Net cash is this. So 2.12. That's more or less the same. Doesn't really matter. Current price per share is Helicity 1937. And go back to this tab. And then we see a low valuation of 3348122, and then we see a high valuation of was that correct? No, that's not correct. 6943 and 8331 that's correct. Okay, and that's 2025, and that's that. Oh my god, this is... I'm so sorry. I was just messing things up. This is the problem of doing these things live, right? This is the problem of doing things live. So I actually have the... Nope, don't need this. Ava, hopefully this is the correct one. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out... this is the one I need. I'm just a little bit of a perfectionist, so I kind of want to do it right now. Okay, 1937. Okay, low valuation 6943 123 123, And we have a high valuation of 8331. So that's that. And that does look a little bit better. So yes, okay. So based on these calculations, you have these prices per share. A fair price per share would be, a median fair price per share would be almost $16 per share. On the low end, $14.68. On the high end, $17.24. And the midpoint valuation would be $15.96. I believe this should be the correct valuation. 261,482. Yeah, I think so. So I believe that's the valuation for that company. Sorry if I just had to go through that. I just wanted to finish that. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Almost here for 2 hours now. What the heck? Actually, gonna go in like 10 minutes probably, because I actually wanted to play GTA Online with my friends in a while. So, and I still need to have dinner as well. It's 8 o'clock p.m. right here. Do you like any crypto? Yes, I do. Let's see. Crypto. I currently have mainly Bitcoin, then Ethereum, Aave, Chainlink, and Polkadot. Those are my ones that I see long-term benefits in. Portfolio reveal would be lit. Yeah, it's in YouTube. I've been holding. Sorry. Oh, GG man. GG on that entry, Harrison. GG. Gonna grab 185 after merger. Keep in mind my video about the effect of merger dates of specs, because usually it goes down. It's legit. They use Sapphire to see genome and find abnormalities. See, yeah, sequencing, right? So long read sequencing or whatever. Cool. If you happen to have a favorite stock that you like to swing and hold long term. Do I have a favorite stock right now? I don't actually know if I have. So with regard to my long-term holds, yeah, I have multiple favorite ones. Currently, I'm in love with ALPP because it's just gone insane. This isn't insane. If learning to compound is still in here, you might like this one. I actually got in at like 44 cents, and this already has gone up like 16, 17x or something like that. I think this might be a 100 bagger for me over time. This is a company that acquires multiple companies. It's a company that has like 10 companies, and they have 2 drone companies. So that could be interesting. One of those drone companies is actually founded by a guy from Tesla. Spencer Gore, I believe his name is. So it's an interesting company. Yeah, the annual meeting was interesting to say at least. It was not the most bullish annual meeting that I've been at. But this is going to go. This is probably going to have their uplisting to the Nasdaq within 2 weeks. So I like this company, but yeah, it's not my favorite company. I think I like Lemonade. For some reason, I'm drawn to Lemonade. I've been into this company since like $60 more or less. I like their like millennial culture-ish, I would say. I think this still has a long way to go. I like the CEO. I like the product. I actually use the product. I'm a Lemonade user myself right now. I first bought the stock, then I actually got the Lemonade home insurance and the, what's it called? The, what do you call it? Like liability insurance? I'm not sure. I'm from the Netherlands, so sometimes I don't know these words. I'm sorry. So yeah, I really like Lemonade as well. Maybe that's my favorite. I don't know. Do I like anything else a lot? I like Ag Eagle too, but not my favorite one. Of course, I like Tesla because Elon Musk, he's a beast. So yeah, probably those 2 things. And with regards to my, so just a little background, these purple and orange ones are my long-term holds, and the blue ones are my swing trades. So these blue ones are my swing trades. What is my favorite swing trade right now? Maybe MPA. I think MPA still can go quite a bit higher. I think it's still relatively undervalued, and I think this can give some pretty nice gains. Yeah, could be the most interesting one. If Romeo starts to go back up, then that could provide pretty good gains as well. I think MPA right now is my favorite swing trade. Actually, TTCF was my favorite swing trade. This was like my perfect swing trade. I made a video about this when I entered TTCF. I think I entered around like $16 or something like that. This was like the perfect swing trade, man. This was purely based on technical analysis. I entered around here like $16 and I closed my position around like $25. Man, that was just gorgeous. Yeah, so G's and TTTF. NGA, solid company. Yeah, I had a very short trade, a very short trade. I think I got in. I don't know the numbers. I don't know when I got in. But I got in at some point and I decided to sell out because of the fair valuation of like $19.07. According to my own valuation, this could be on the low end, of course, but according to their investor presentation, I believe the valuation was like $19.07. But yeah, I got out because it was getting pretty high. Not sure when I got out though. Yeah, I'm not sure. Purely based on technical analysis, I would say that we could have some more downside to go. I kind of think we will test this support line over here of like $23.20, more or less. Indicators still seem a little bit bearish. Could even go down a little bit lower to this white line over here. Could happen. NGA solid company. Yeah, Proterra, Lion Electric, Arrival. Yeah, I think these are pretty good SPACs to have. Thoughts on Nano Dimension? I'm laughing because I've been tracking. I've been looking at this chart so often, and it was always like, this has to go down, this has to go down, this has to go down. Then an offering came and I'm like, okay, finally this is going to go down. And didn't go down. Another offering didn't go down. Another offering didn't go down. So it's just crazy to me how this just doesn't go down. Because yeah, there was so many like bearish signals. That's just of course one of the negative, the disadvantages of technical analysis. Technical analysis is not 100%, right? It's not 100%. So yeah, you don't have 100% probability that is actually going to play out, right? It might play out in like 70% of the cases or 80% of the cases. So I thought that the likelihood was higher that this was going to go down. Of course, it didn't. So I didn't get into this company. I didn't start a swing trade or anything. I might start a swing trade if this corrects quite a bit and then starts going back up. So far, I'm not going to enter this company. I don't know enough about this company just yet, but I know that multiple people are bullish about this company. And yeah, Cathy Wood also has, well, Cathy Wood, Ark Invest also has a position, right? Yeah. In multiple SPACs, actually. Or in multiple ETFs, actually. Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got it on my list. I have a don't know list. This is basically the list of companies that I look at for swing trades or possible long-term trades at some point, but usually swing trades. It's almost 8 o'clock. Let's see. You got to... Oh, that's too kind to Harrison. I don't think I'm going to get 100k subs very soon, but I'll keep grinding. I'm going to keep grinding. And again, if you have any suggestions, feedback, whatever, keep letting me know. Save that for the next time, Carl. I'm going to start wrapping this up. I was going to say another word that I learned from Crown, but not going to say it. HOL laid off 30. Oh, okay, that's important to take into account. So for everyone, HOL, so the Holicity SPAC laid off 30 employees recently. That's important. They're running out of money. That's, yeah, a big negative thing. Are you live twitching GTA? No, I don't think so. So I'm from the Netherlands. My friends and I are Dutch. We are from the Netherlands. We speak in Dutch as well. So I don't think it's going to be interesting to you. But I will say this. I have been thinking, I have been playing poker in the last couple of years. And I might actually be streaming poker on Twitch at some point. And it was also thinking about like playing GTA or playing some kind of game with people from the Discord, right? Again, if you're not into the Discord, it's free to join. There's also a premium membership, but if you want to join for free, you can join for free. If you go to nesami.com/discord, you can join us for free. And what was I going to say? Yeah, so I was actually thinking maybe about like doing a kind of like live stream of GTA or another game on Twitch and just hang out with a bunch of you guys. Or girls, I don't know, maybe there are girls in here as well. Share a brief strategy. We have a stock you're holding for a brief strategy. Long-term trade, long-term. Don't really have a brief strategy. Long-term, it's the opposite of brief, I would say. It's doing a lot of research on Yahoo Finance, Seeking Alpha, YouTube, the SEC filings, the quarterly earnings, the annual reports, and then also just using my own mind. With regards to drone stocks, for example, those were mainly used or mainly entered because I thought that drones were going to have a major market. And technical analysis, I also use technical analysis. So with regards to swing trading, I don't do a lot of fundamental research. I usually have a general sense of what the company does, if people are bullish about the company or not. And then I mainly use technical analysis to get in and out of trades. So I use things you see over here, so indicators and all kinds of things. I'm actually thinking about doing a like technical analysis course. Not sure if people are going to be interested in that, but could be interesting because I think it's actually a very useful tool to have in your toolbox when you're an investor or a trader. No, you have to go soon, but what's your thoughts on Vine Therapeutics? FDA approval, still at $2, got a high price target. Whose price target is that? Okay. So yeah, long term looks horrible, of course, this chart, but does look like it could turn into a potential reversal. This is the weekly chart. We see that we are currently, sorry for the phone message there. We are currently trading above, oh my God, get away. This white line over here could turn into reversal. Daily chart looks pretty good. Yeah, just with regards to technical analysis, can't really say about anything useful about the chart like this, to be honest. So yeah, can't really say anything useful about technical analysis for a company like this that just has a chart like this with almost no volume for a long period of time, and then just lots of volume for just a few weeks. Low market cap. I don't know the company. So yeah. Unfortunately, I can't really talk about that. Swing trading Vine, tempted to go long. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you have done your research, then sure. Then sure. How's taxation? All right, that's the last question I'll answer. How's taxation on short-term gains? So it's beautiful to live in the Netherlands because we don't have short-term gains tax. We only have what we have is a what do you call it? Like, it's not capital gains tax. Is it capital gain? It's not capital gains tax. Basically, you're taxed based on your net worth, right? So each year, you have to say, okay, on the 1st of January, my stocks and my cryptos and my money was worth this amount of money. And based on that amount of money, they're going to tax you, right? They're not going to tax you on like swing trades, like the gains you profited from that, only on the amount of money you actually have, right? So it doesn't matter if you made 1,000 swing trades or 0 swing trades, you're just taxed on the amount of money you have. And man, I might show it at a different time. I might talk a little bit about that in a different video or like a different live stream. But basically, it's a very good system. Well, good. For me, it's a very good system to live in because, I'm getting very low tax on my gains. Almost no tax. And also on the net worth thing, there's like very low tax. It's like, what is it? Like, I keep forgetting. It's like 1.8% of your net worth. Man, I'm explaining this very badly. Let's say you have net worth at the 1st of January, you have a net worth of 100K, right? They say, okay, we believe your return on investment, because you're relatively a beginner, so to say, is going to be, I think, oh my God, I'm really messing this up. So, I think the percentage is 1.789. they say that they expect you to have a return on investment of 1.789%. So basically $1,789, right? And based on that number, they're going to tax you 30%. 30% of that goes to the tax. So basically, if you have a net worth of 100K, you're going to have to pay in this kind of tax a little bit more than 500 euros. It's almost nothing. Just explained it very horribly there, but yeah, it's a pretty good system to have if you're a trader in the Netherlands, I would say. My apologies, meant for a trading perspective. Yeah, so basically technical analysis, Charlie. The only thing I use for that is technical analysis. Okay, I think I'm going to start wrapping things up here. I'm going to start playing GTA probably with my friends, and I also need water because I'm almost... my throat is really dry right now, and I also probably need some food as well. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Again, crazy to see people actually watch these streams. I've been here for 2 hours, and some people were actually here for maybe the entire while. Thank you for being here. Really mean that. Again, if you have feedback, let me know. You can always send me a DM on Discord. You can send me an email, support@nesami.com. You can post a comment below this live stream. Feedback, always welcome. I like that. And also, what else did I want to say? Yeah, if you're not in the Discord, then go to nesami.com/Discord, get into the Discord, and come chat with us. It's free. There's also a premium membership, but you can just enjoy the free Discord channel as well. I think that's it. Yeah, we didn't really talk about earnings yet. I actually had to talk about that a little bit, but I'm not sure if there's going to be major earnings. Let's click very briefly through that. My internet is a little bit slow, but I suppose that's because I'm live streaming. So I'm just going to go very briefly through my positions to see if there are any earnings right now this week that I need to pay attention to. So Switchback, I need to take a look at that. Square's not yet this week. I think there was one company that was releasing earnings this week. Oh yeah, 2U. I need to look at 2U this week. 2U. So that's going to be interesting, and I believe that's the only one. Workhorse, nope. Zoom, nope. And this is not this week, I guess. 18th. No, okay. Cool. Okay, yeah, so I need to look at 2U. That is going to report earnings. If you hold shares in 2U, go to the earnings call. That is, believe, on Tuesday, on the 11th of February. No, that's on Thursday. So Thursday is an important day for SBE and also for 2U. Cool. Again, thank you. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you in the next one. Yeah, have a great Sunday, and hope you're having a great week. Bye-bye.